Developing a social strategy may sound like an overwhelming task, but it is actually something that will really help you out in the long run. It's about giving yourself a guide to refer back to and setting yourself goals. Having a clear plan in place will make you more efficient and ultimately help you save time and budget when it comes to social media. A good social media strategy gets you organized, allows you to identify training needs, and keeps you focused on the results you want to see. Setting goals. The first step is to set your goals. Ask yourself, what do you want to achieve through social media? Be clear on the purpose of your social presence. Whether it's customer service, driving footfall, or greater interaction with your customer base, make sure you know what you want to get out of your efforts on social media and, crucially, how you'll measure success. It's a good idea to use what's known as SMART goals. This means goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, setting a goal such as grow my audience isn't very specific or measurable. It would be better to state who that audience should be, how you'll monitor growth, and over what time frame. Instead, you might set yourself a goal to find more followers from the local area, aiming to grow your following by 1.5% each month. Once you have your SMART goals in place, you are then in a position to decide which platforms are best to help you achieve your objectives. Make sure you are being realistic when choosing your social channels. Consider how much you can manage, how much time you have to commit, and whether it is worth the time investment. Audience research. Doing your research is a big part of creating a successful social media strategy. Think carefully about your target audience and be specific about who they are. What are their demographics? What sort of distance will they travel? What is their purchasing behavior like, both on and offline? It's also a good idea to ask yourself what sort of topics do they find interesting? What would make them smile, feel entertained, or feel valued? And what would make their lives easier? Imagine your audience as a person. What does their day look like? When and how do they use social media? It is worth spending time on this to ensure your social content lands well and attracts the audience you want. Competitor research. While you are in the research phase, make sure to have a look at what your competitors and other similar businesses are doing on social media. Look at what's working well for others on social media and what's not. What can you learn from this and apply to your strategy? Key date research. A calendar of key dates for content is the next area to research for your social strategy. There are the obvious dates that you'll already have in-store plans for, such as Christmas, Easter, or Halloween. But what about awareness initiatives such as Veganuary, National Curry Week, or British Food Fortnight? Can you find a way to embrace these using social media? There are also major national and international events to consider, such as football matches, Wimbledon, and even the Eurovision Song Contest. Consider when your audience will realistically be making plans for these events and time your social posts accordingly. Content planning. When it comes to content ideas, think back to your audience research and what they might engage with. If you need some help coming up with engaging content ideas, check out our video on driving customer engagement for some practical tips. Keep focused on your target audience and your SMART goals and get planning. You can even get organized by scheduling your posts ahead of time to go live on your chosen date. However, a word of advice if you do schedule your posts in advance. Make sure to keep an eye on the news and current events to ensure your content is sensitive to the national mood. The death of the Queen is an example of a time when you'd need to pause or reconsider your scheduled social media posts. It's always better to err on the side of caution and be respectful if you're not sure of whether it's appropriate to post. Sometimes, at difficult times, such as during COVID lockdowns or tragic events on the news, it can be best to say nothing at all. Don't be afraid to go quiet if posting doesn't feel right. When it comes to social media, you always need to be ready to learn, adapt, and make changes. Build a degree of flexibility into your planning and review content on a weekly basis to ensure it feels right and works towards your goals. Measuring success. Measurement and evaluation will play a key part in your strategy. Take a little time each month to review the performance of your social posts. Most platforms offer insights and reporting, enabling you to see your top performing posts. Look at what got the most engagement, what got shared the most, what got people talking and commenting. Look at your audience insights too. Who is following you? When are they online, and how much is your account growing by? By doing this, you can build on your initial audience research and fine-tune your content plan. Check in with your original objectives and your SMART goals. Are you working towards these, or do they need adjusting? Look at what improvements may need to be made. For example, if you're not hitting your engagement goals, think about what you could do differently, from the time of day your post goes live to the tone of voice or the type of asset used such as photo or video. Don't be too harsh on yourself if you're not meeting your goals immediately. It takes time to get it right and build an audience, and changes from the platforms themselves, such as new features and algorithm updates, can have an impact too. Just keep adapting, listening, and learning. We hope you found this useful. If so, be sure to check out our other short videos which include tips on how to create good quality content for social media and the benefits of paid advertising, plus much more.